Roy, there hasn't been a lot of time for Ruben Amorim to put in all the changes that he'll want to see from this Manchester United side. Did you see what he will want to do in the future?
Yeah, well, we saw obviously the shape of the team. That's the way he's going to go. But you still have the same players out there and the same problems. And we talk about leopards and spots. The issue with United over the last year or two: lack of goals, lack of quality in the second half. We're looking at Ipswich, who haven't won all season at home, and they looked a better team. And if any team was going to win, you felt Ipswich were going to win it. So I think it's his first game, a lot to take in. It's been a mad week or two for him, but I think ultimately he'll be disappointed. I think again with the lack of quality in the final third for Man United, and towards the end of the game, if anyone was going to win it, I thought it was going to be Ipswich, which is a big concern.
Roy has described Manchester United at times this season as a team of moments. They're looking for consistency. Does this look like a squad who can get to those levels of consistency?
I think, you're spot on with the moments comment, because I think that what I haven't seen in this Manchester United team for a long time is like relationships. Players that combine well with each other, players that create things, off the cuff, but also by design as well. And they've got a manager in now who's got a record for design. He's got this system that he believes heavily in, that he wants to bring to Manchester United. We saw it this evening. Did it work? No, because they didn't win. And ultimately, I think what Ruben Amorim wants to be doing is he wants to be winning whilst learning on the job with this group of players. Did he have his best available 11 out today? No. But I think we have to give huge credit to Kieran McKenna and Ipswich, because I thought that the way they played, it was exceptional at times. I thought they were brave, that they didn't let the heads drop. And I think ultimately they showed Manchester United, how it looks to be a team that's connected.
We will look at Ipswich in more detail, because it was a really, really good performance from them, and we'll talk more about the influence that Kieran McKenna has shortly as well. But in terms of Ruben Amorim and the stamp that he wants to put on Manchester United, and the problems that he has to solve, is goal scoring the biggest one, Jamie?
Yeah, of course they've not got enough goals. They've got quality in the team, but there's a lot of problems you have to solve. And I'm already fed up talking about this system that he's going to employ. I am. It's because
day one, Jamie.
But Kelly, this is the players that are in this system right now are not going to be the players in the future. You're not going to see Johnny Evans as a left side centre back. You're not going to see Mazraoui. You're not going to see the two wing backs probably, who obviously they're both opposite footed and they're playing on that outside. Is that midfield going to be Casemiro and Eriksen? Of course it isn't. So you're going to try and analyse it. It's almost pointless, because the system is going to change, because the players are going to change and the personnel, and then they're going to look better. In a way, the best thing that can probably happen is not get fooled by these players right now, because after 2 minutes we're looking and thinking, wow, the Messiah's here, everything's going to change, look how good they look. But then they became their true self in the end, and they see that the quality isn't there. So this is going to take time. It's going to take new personnel. He's going to have to figure it out. He's going to be changing the team probably week in, week out, searching for who is going to be the right people in this system. And once he gets that, then he has a chance. But right now, you couldn't pick the team that's going to be there in 6 months, because you don't know who's going to fit into what he wants.
Yeah, there are a lot of players in that side who, again, to go back to the point, have moments of quality in them. Are there enough players in the squad who have quality consistently?
No. That's the big problem. Again, this team for last year or two, it's all about moments. We saw with the first goal after the minute, you think, well, listen, great start, a bit of quality, a bit of pace, nice finish from Marcus, getting into the areas you want him to be. And then United just sat back and you're going, you almost feel like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Ipswich are a team near the bottom, obviously on the back of a good result at Spurs, but the home record not great. Go after them as if United are almost fearful of going on to win the game. The manager obviously made lots of changes in the second half, and to be fair, you're thinking, listen, he's obviously trying to win the game and he's still trying to get to know these players. But I suppose at United, the business of the league, their results, they probably maybe lack that confidence and belief. But do I believe this group of players have the quality to start getting Man United back up towards top 4, top 5? I've been saying it for ages. Absolutely not. The evidence isn't there. And again, today we come down, you're thinking new manager, new bunks and all this, it's all very positive. But then when the game starts, and it's the same old stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Very predictable and really lack of quality.
And again, what we should say is this isn't on Ruben Amorim, who's taking charge of his first
2
game,
or 3 days,
who is
Kelly.
also, Jamie, on his way over to talk to us.
But he's had 2 weeks he's been in the job 2 weeks, but you've got to remember, everyone's been away on international duty. This is going to take time. He's under no illusions, but the good thing is he's going to learn about the players week in, week out. He's obviously coming now. We're going to have a chat with him, and I'll be interested to see how he thought the game went.
Sorry.
Ruben, so much for coming over to talk to us. Good to meet you, Kelly. Hi, Ruben. Look, first game in charge of Manchester United. You've had a couple of weeks to work with some of the players that haven't been on international duty. So what did you learn about them over that 90 minutes?
It's a tough league. What you learn in the first moment, a good environment. I think my players were thinking too much during the game. You can feel it. They were thinking not just in the ball, but where I'm supposed to be, and that is hard with 2 days, because all the team together just 2 days. We need more. I think in the first half the physicality, because they leave us 1 against 1 in front, so we have to use that moments to feel the opponent. But it's a tough match. I think we lost some balls without pressure. And when you start a game like this, you score 1 goal, and then you have to control the ball. You have to control the tempos of the game. We cannot do it at the moment, but they tried. They really tried. I know this is for some guys it's hard to understand this, but they are really trying, and they want this.
When you talk about the players maybe thinking too much, is that because they're thinking about what you want from them, what you've asked them to do, and the differences from what they're used to doing?
That's the reason. That's really that reason. But we have 2 ways. So we try to win games and don't risk nothing in this moment. And I guarantee next year at the same stage we will have the same problem. So you have to try to since the first moment we will have problems. The players will be like confused sometimes, but we have to address since this moment the new idea and try to be better in the next year at the same stage.
Oh, sorry, me next. Yeah. Obviously, you're still getting to know the players, but you're also hoping for a proper football intelligence from some of the players, decision making. Would that be a concern?
I think that is a concern, because you can understand you don't need to coach them, because at this level you have to keep the ball, know the momentum of to put the ball in front, and you sometimes you feel that you can't keep the ball and you put the ball in front. Then you have like we are in the end of the game, you are rounding the box with 2 strikers, with Josh has to understand that he has to go to the box to have the crosses. So we are doing some things that not in the right moment. So that is something that we have to address. Sometimes it's not every people talk about the 3-4-3. That is not the concern. A system is a system, but the understanding of the game, I think we have to improve a lot in this area.
The system, and obviously it's been the talk of the town since you arrived with this system. But what have you seen from the players in this last week of training which has impressed you the most, and what do you want to take forward from today's game?
The most important thing, again, it's hard to understand, but they want this. Sometimes they don't know how to get it. That was my feeling. You can say that it's 3 trainings if they are not excited at the moment, so we have a big problem. Then you start discovering things. I didn't know. I think Garna can hold the ball between lines. You can understand that by seeing the games, because he's always open. So you try to find these things. Bruno Fernandes, I think he improved his game by playing near the ball, feeling the ball, so he can give us like sometimes the long pass. But you cannot put him there all the time, because he wants the long pass all the time. So we try to find things about the players, and we will need a lot of time to work out these things.
Ed Sheeran's come to join us. Ed, we're just chatting to Ruben Amorim, who may not want to talk to an Ipswich fan. But from an Ipswich point of view, it was almost perfect. So
I loved it. I love being back in the Premier League.
Yeah. Oh, we're really glad to hear from you.
You're going to come and say hello in a minute? We'll have a chat to you. Definitely. All right, well done, mate. Good to
see you again in a second. Thank you very much, Ed.
Look, Ruben, I was just going to say...
unpredictable when we're pitch side.
So your team today ran 102 kilometres. It's the second lowest this season for your team, for Manchester United. But I know when I saw Sporting and that your stats and your high intensity running was through the roof. Absolutely one of the best in Europe. Is that something that has to change for you to compete?
Yeah, if you see the first half, we were a little bit afraid. The number 5 was always alone, and we have to jump on him. Then the number 20, Hutchison, was always here in the dead space. Johnny Evans should be pressing that guy. But then when we don't have training, and it's hard to say all the directions to the players. We had 2 days, so they are confused a little bit, and they stay here. If you stay here, you don't run, you don't defend. You defend, but you don't run. So you feel that in data. But we have to understand the data, to see the data, and understand what happened in the game. First, they have to understand the game. Then we have to be so much better physically, to cope with the high pressure, the volume of the high speed running, all these things. But we need time to work these things.
Ruben, one of the things that you're going to learn as Manchester United manager is the number of media commitments that you have after a game. So we're going to let you go. So thank you very much for coming over to talk to us.
I want to say this is the last time this week I spoke more than 4 years in Sporting, and then when you speak too much and you don't win, it's really hard for everybody. So it was 1 week, and only 1 week I spoke with Andrew. I just want to work with my players, nothing more. But I understand this is a different game here. So let's see.
Thanks for coming out to talk to us. Thank you, Ruben. Thanks. And actually, bye. Thank you.
Efforts on target their most in this Premier League season. Are they finding their feet? Are they making steps forward?
Yeah, they are. I mean, again, I go back to the Tottenham result, getting that first win. But today I thought they played really well. Again, you look at the stats, Manchester United would have had more possession, but the clear goal scoring opportunities, if it should be, we could walk off the pitch today with a 3-4-1 victory, because they've got a great goal. Murray Hutchinson, he spoke about working on that in training, but Liam Delap's probably thinking in the change room right now, I should have had a couple. There's been so many opportunities they had. They got themselves into good areas, and I think they coped with Manchester United really well. So I do think moving forward now, they can take real confidence from the last 2 performances. I think they've been in the game. The Brentford game is a prime example. They go 2 up. They maybe the inexperiences, which is what couldn't see them over the line. Today they got back into shape. We're probably more happy with the point than Manchester United were, but I can understand that. It's been a tough start to the season for them, playing Liverpool, Manchester City the first 2 games of the season, but they are starting to find their feet now, and they're starting to show some good signs.
2 great chances for Delap. Getting himself in the centre of the goals when the ball's coming into the box. You've got chances. You know, the first one in the first half should score. Gets himself in a great position, lovely little pass, and should finish. The one in the second half coming from the right wing, getting himself in the centre of the goal again, lovely little flick, great save from Onana. Could have been a real hero today, couldn't he, Delap? But probably the main player of the day, I would say, the standout player. Put himself about, made himself a proper menace for the Man United defence, and unlucky not to come out a winner.
Are they the fine lines as a newly promoted team? You know, 1 goal, suddenly you've got to win instead of a draw, a couple more points on the board, you're out the drop zone.
Yeah, but I thought there was a lot they did right today. You know, we've seen 2 of the teams that are struggling at the bottom, Southampton against Liverpool and Ipswich, and you'd think Ipswich certainly look more equipped than Southampton at this moment in time. They had a pattern of play, they didn't give up many opportunities to the opposition. You know, they worked really hard. You can see there's a passion around the ground. It's going to be a difficult place to go, Portman Road, and get a result. So I thought they'd done themselves proud today. They didn't get the result, but they certainly weren't second best. I thought they made the better chances. They looked dangerous, and they look more of a unit than United did today. So I think going forward, as Bentley rightly said, they've only just come in the league. They haven't got the finances of other teams, but they're starting to build a little bit of a momentum which will help them.
Yeah, and they're not too far away from it again today. The next post is to get that first home win, to get that little bit more belief, and then move forward again.
Exactly. I mean, they'll give anyone a game at Portman Road. I think away from home at times maybe a little bit easy to play against, but at home with the fans behind them, because that set of supporters down there don't expect too much. That's the biggest thing. They've been in the Premier League for over 20 years, so they're not expecting them to get into the Premier League and start blasting teams away and finishing top half of the table. This first season back in the Premier League is all about survival, and if they finish 17th and they survive, fantastic season. But again, the building blocks and the foundations to go toe-to-toe with a Manchester United side with a new manager who we will expect to be better than where they are, to get a point and should have won the game, that will give everyone amongst Ipswich Town will be massive confidence.
Ruben Amorim's reign as Manchester United manager began with an early buzz, but ended with a mixed bag as the Red Devils were held to a 1-1 draw by Ipswich Town at Portman Road. Let's break down the key moments, stats, and what this result means for United moving forward. It couldn't have started better for Manchester United. Just 81 seconds into the game, Amad Diallo deployed in a surprising right wing-back role made an instant impact. He raced down the right flank, delivering a perfect low cross for Marcus Rashford, who slotted home from close range. The Amorim era was off to a flying start. Amorim became just the second permanent Premier League manager to see his team score in the opening 2 minutes of their debut game, joining David Moyes back in 2002. But the early joy didn't last long. Despite the quick start, United struggled to create further chances. Rashford's opener was actually their best opportunity in terms of expected goals XG for the entire match. The newly promoted Ipswich, however, looked far more dangerous as the game progressed. Liam Delap missed a huge chance to equalise, but it wasn't long before Omari Hutchinson found the net. His strike from distance, deflecting slightly off Nasser Mazraoui, drew Ipswich level just before half-time. At half-time, it felt like we were set for an explosive second half. But, in reality, the game fizzled out, with neither side able to break the deadlock in the final 45 minutes. So, what does this draw mean for Ruben Amorim and United? Well, it's not the dream start he might have hoped for, but he'll take comfort in the fact that they avoided defeat. At the same time, it's clear there's a lot of work to do, especially in midfield and defence, where Ipswich caused real problems. Here are some key stats from the game. Amorim joins an exclusive club of managers scoring within the first 2 minutes of their Premier League debut. Ipswich remain winless at home this season, their worst start at Portman Road in over a decade. And for United, this is only the second time they've scored within the first 2 minutes of a Premier League match and failed to win, the other times being a draw against Liverpool in 1995 and that infamous 6-1 loss to Spurs in 2020. For the analysts out there, dive into the Opta Match Centre for all the stats, chalkboards, and passing networks. Want to see how Ahmad performed as a wing-back? Or Rashford's heat map as a central striker? It's all there for you to dissect. Ruben Amorim's journey at Manchester United is just getting started, and this draw offers a glimpse of the challenges ahead. With plenty of room for improvement, all eyes will be on how he adjusts in the coming games. Make sure to subscribe for more match breakdowns and updates. Thanks for watching. This script mixes engaging visuals, in-depth analysis, and post-match statistics, ensuring a professional yet accessible tone for your YouTube audience.